Hey, hello, and thanks for clicking on the link for this week's video. It's very exciting around here with all the construction. But before I get into that real quickly, I just want to encourage you, be in prayer for those in Sutherland Springs, Texas. Obviously, we went home from church last Sunday and the devastating news of the shooting there and so many killed in that church. And just lift them up in prayer and continue to pray for obviously the families that are directly affected, but also the entire community, that they would, I don't know, that God would work through this somehow. So just lift them up in prayer in these coming days and weeks. As I mentioned, construction is fast and furious. It's exciting to see things that are being finished, near finished. The Student Center is very close to final inspection. And so it's pretty cool to see that coming together in its final stages. There's a lot of concrete being poured. The sidewalks, various walkways between the buildings, exterior painting is happening all over on all the buildings. So it's kind of nice to see some some dirt being covered up with concrete walkways. The metal roof going on to the sanctuary. It's a big roof, so it takes a while for that to be finished, but that's progressing well also. And then inside, the sanctuary is really taking shape. It's just amazed every time I walk in there, and so it's coming together nicely. Things are moving forward. All that to say, it's getting close. We're looking at probably December 10th, December 17th. Those are the two Sundays that are kind of on the target, if you will, for move-in, and when we might have our first service up there. So be in prayer for that, but we're hoping those would be one of those dates. But that brings to the forefront, okay, what's it going to be like when we move up into those new spaces? Currently, we have about 260 or 265 chairs on the floor in our current sanctuary. The new sanctuary has about 600 seats. Well, we're not going to put 100 to 150 people, or even just 200 people in a 600-seat sanctuary for two services, because it's a big echo chamber there. We're going to be going to a one-service format, and when we move up the hill, and my prayer is that within the calendar year of 2018, we have more people coming, and we're reaching more people with the gospel of Christ, and they're putting their faith in Christ and growing in their faith and reaching more people that they know and bringing them to the church so they can hear the gospel and so on. And I hope soon in 2018 that we have to go to two services again. But until that time, until we're at that point, we're going to be in a one-service format. The one-service format, 9:30 will be the time for our worship service, 9:30 to 10:40. It's a 70-minute service. And it'll be... it's important to understand the reason we're doing 9:30 and not 11 is because 9:30s are it's a bigger attendance. It's better attended, I guess you could say, on average. So that's our primary service, number one. And also all across the country, 9 or 9:30 or 10 o'clock, those are the prime times for a Sunday morning service all across the country. So what we experience here is no different than other churches all around the country. So 9:30 to 10:40 is our worship service. While that worship service is going on, we will have Next Gen Kids, nursery through fifth grade, will also be happening. That ministry will be in full force there during that worship service. And then from 10:40 to 11 o'clock, we have a passing time or a fellowship time. Great opportunity to get connected with some people, grab a cup of coffee from the coffee bar there in the lobby. If you want to pray and talk to somebody about what happened in the service through the worship or the sermon, and want to pray and go through something, that you have time to do that during that fellowship time, that passing time. And then 11 to 12:10 is what we're calling our small group hour. So all of our Sunday morning groups or classes, they will meet at 11 o'clock. And the schedule that we've come up with for the rooms and things like that is this. Number one is Bereans. They will meet in the current sanctuary, which we'll be calling that Chapel Hall when we make the transition. Chapel Hall is a name we came up with simply because we'll continue in the immediate future, at least, to use the current sanctuary as both a chapel for weddings and funerals and other events, but also as the fellowship hall. It's right off the kitchen. and it'll be used for functions like that. So chapel hall is what we kind of came up with to kind of combine those two uses in the name. So Bereans will meet there. And we're doing a sermon replay in rooms 1 and 2 at 11 o'clock. And the sermon replay is simply it's to benefit those who serve during the worship service, whether they're serving in welcome ministry, whether they're serving in children's ministry, or in some capacity during the worship service itself, and they can't really be able, pay attention and focus and worship during the worship service. That's what this is for. It's for those people who are serving who can't be in a worship service while they're serving. Well, they can go to the sermon replay. I'll be hosting that group, and we'll have a little bit of Q&A after after we show the sermon, and it'll be a great opportunity for them to at least get some of what happened in that service on that morning. And then our Palos group will meet in room number 3. Our young adults will meet in room number 6, and our open door group will meet in room number 7. So that's basically the plan that we have going forward. And if you have any questions, I'm sure you might have some questions. If you do, please send me an email or give me a phone call here at the office. Would love to talk through that with you. And just want to encourage you, and I'm excited about what's ahead. It will be some change, but I think it's good change and something that we can truly embrace and move forward together as we encounter these things. Hope you have a great rest of the week. Really hope to see you this Sunday as we worship the Lord together. And I'll talk to you then and see you then. Have a great week. Bye-bye.